Are you struggling with your chipping? Because if so, I'm going to improve your chipping in 3 simple steps in this video. So make sure you stay to the end to improve your chipping. So tip number 1 is ball position. Now, when people address chip shots, usually, I have my 58 degree here, they set up to a chip shot like they would hit a normal iron shot. Ball in the middle of the stance, and then they take a big, huge swing like this, de-accelerate and either fin it or fat it through the green, don't they? We've all seen it on the course. We've all played with someone that you've stood the other side of the green, they've sculled a ball at you, and you've been like, whoa, okay. So, tip number 1 is ball position. We're going to take a slightly smaller stance here because we don't need to take the big, juicy swings. We're going to take a slightly smaller stance and we're going to put the ball back in the stance. This is going to be 2 or 3 balls back from middle. So I like to play it quite far back, mainly for a couple of reasons. Now I'm not going to tell you the other reason because the other reason is tip number 2, but we're going to put the ball slightly back in our stance, which is just going to allow us to make sure we hit the ball first, which is key when it comes to chipping. So slightly back in the stance, and then you're just going to take a nice small swing. Remember, it's only a chip shot, we don't need to hit it too far. And there you have it. Oh, almost hold it. Let's see that from down the line. So here we are, just so you can see what the chip shot looks like down the line. Slightly smaller stance, ball back in the stance, just a nice smooth shot. There you have it. It's literally as simple as that. Just focus on that strike. That strike will give you consistency, and when you've got consistency, your golf will improve like that. So for tip number 2, we're going to go weight. So balance, weight. You need to know it. Let me find a nice patch of grass. I haven't picked the best area to practice here. So weight. Now, again, when you've moved the ball back in the stance, you're now going to be like, I don't know where to put my weight. So what we're going to do here is you're going to have to play around, but I'm going to give you what I like to do. I like to just feel. I like to feel in my feet, give my feet a little wiggle and feel where I feel comfortable. Now for me, when I hit this chip shot, I actually feel a little bit more comfortable with the weight on my left leg. So to me, this feels about 60% on my left leg. And this is what we're going to do. This is what I'd advise you to do, is keep the weight on the left leg. And when you swing, make sure you follow through over your left leg. Keep the weight going forward. The last thing you want to do when you chip is hang back and like try and lift the ball up in the air, because that's not what we want to do here, unless you want to hit the flop shot, but we don't, okay? So what you want to do, you want to have the weight on your left leg, not too much, not so much that you go like this. Oh yeah, I've got my weight on my left leg. You want it just about even, if not a little bit more. And then you want to, when you hit the chip shot, transfer your weight over onto the left leg. So now we've gone through all that, let me hit a shot for you. So we're going to set up, we're going to put the ball back in the stance slightly, weight on the left leg, and here we go. Let's hit this chip shot. I wish I'd shown you that one down the line. Let's see down the line. We've got the ball slightly back in the stance, weight slightly forward, and we're just going to remember to rotate over onto our left side. Here we go. Yeah, that's pretty good. Simple as that. Tip number 1, tip number 2 done. Get ready for tip number 3. So tip number 3 is hands slightly forward. So now we've moved everything slightly back, we've moved the stance back but the weight forward. We now also feel a little bit weird, because if you haven't moved your hands forward, your hands kind of sit behind, which is not what you want to do, because if your hands sit behind the golf ball, it creates the flick shot, which is not good, because the flick shot can generate the fin or the fat. So we've got the ball slightly back in our stance, we've got our weight slightly on the left side. So what we're just going to do now is just angle the shaft a little bit more forward. And what this will allow us is to, with a small swing, keep the shaft moving and the head moving ahead of each other. Because what you don't want to do, again, get back here and the shaft or the head is leading first. Well, the head is leading first. You want the butt of the club to lead the way. So just like this, we're going to have the hands slightly forward now, and again, continue to move over to the left side. It's literally as simple as that. Let's see it from down the line. We've got the ball slightly back in our stance now. We've got our weight slightly forward, and we're just going to move the hands just a little bit, and then just carry on moving over to the left. And it's literally that simple. Now that actually wasn't the best strike, but because I've got the foundations correct, it's allowed me to miss-hit it slightly and still hit a really, really decent shot. And that's what you want, consistency, forgiveness, you want it all. And you can only do that by getting the fundamentals right. So that's why these 3 tips are super important. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning into today's video. If this video has helped you, please smash the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn that notification bell on. Follow me across all my socials. I upload daily content across all my socials, so make sure you are following me there. Also, once you have given this video a watch, let me know in the comments section how it helped you, what you found good, what you found bad, what type of shots you experienced once trying these tips, because I would love to know, and we can work on a further video for this experiment. So again, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully I've enjoyed it, and as always team, stay chopping.